All right, the question that a lot of people have been asking is how much money do you need to have invested in the Grayscale LTCN or BCHG trusts to become a millionaire? So I want to talk about that and just give you some rough numbers, rough ideas. None of this is financial advice or tax advice or any of that kind of stuff. Do your own research, your own calculations, everything, okay? So, but here's how it works. Let's do a calculation. Like if you want to end up with $1 million after everything is said and done, after you've paid taxes, then let's just roughly assume you're gonna pay long-term capital gains taxes on your sale, right, of shares. So that means if you're buying right now, you're gonna have to wait a year to sell them. If you bought them in November, you can start selling them in November, all that kind of stuff. But long-term capital gains rates, federal and state, just rough calculation. I'm gonna assume like a third, like a 33% taxes total. I think that's high, but let's just use that. Let's say you end up, in order to end up with $1 million after taxes, you need to cash out of $1.5 million, right? $1.5 million worth of LTCN and BCHG at long-term capital gains rates. You'd probably end up with a little bit more than $1 million, but just to give you a rough idea. So what does it take to get to $1.5 million worth of shares in LTCN or BCHG? Okay, so in my opinion, it should be feasible, pretty feasible from here where we are right now, current price points, to maybe get a 40x on your money. If that is the case, then you would need about $40,000 invested right now into LTCN, BCHG, or a split between the two of them in order to end up with $1.5 million when you cash out. And then you'd pay, let's just assume like $500,000 in taxes, you end up with $1 million, so solid $1 million. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, like $40,000 or so. And maybe, you could push it up a little bit and say $50,000 just to be safe. Then you only have to do a 30x from where we are right now. That's actually maybe a safer bet. Let's just say that, like 50 grand with a 30x from where we are right now. That will give you $1.5 million. After you pay taxes, you end up with $1 million. So for every $50,000 that you invest in LTCN or BCHG right now, you could potentially end up with $1 million in your brokerage account after taxes, which would be pretty cool. So that's a really, really nice return. That's a 20x return after taxes. That's definitely solid. Now, if you had invested money back in the bear market last summer when I was first starting to talk about these, well, you would have only had to put in about $5,000 or $6,000 instead of 50 grand, $5,000 or $6,000 in order to reach the $1.5 million mark, in my opinion, based on where prices are right now and where I think we're gonna go with the price predictions for LTCN and BCHG. So that's kind of the scoop. Again, do your own calculations, for taxes, all that kind of stuff, what you think we can get for a return. I mean, look on my channel for price predictions for LTCN and BCHG. I've done videos on the past. I'm not going to do them again. Cesar from Cesar Gets Crypto has also done videos on these things, what the trust could do. I linked to those videos in a playlist called Crypto Predictions. It's on my channel, so go there and watch the videos there to get an idea as to what I and others think these trusts could get up to at the height of the bull market. So it's like, so that's potentially all you need. All you potentially need is 50 grand right now in these trusts to end up with 1.5 million cashing out of that, paying some taxes, and getting to the place where you have $1 million in your bank account. So it's like for every million that you want after taxes, you just multiply. Like if you want 2 million, well, then you'd need about 100,000 right now riding in the trust. You know what I mean? Just do the calculation, all that stuff for yourself. Do your own research, make your own decisions. Like I said, this isn't tax advice, this isn't financial advice, none of it. And nothing is guaranteed in this world, including returns for anything. But I think we are in a really good spot with LTCN and BCHG. I think they're just going to perform wonderfully. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people, except us, because we already have an expectation as to what they could do. But I think they're going to perform very, very well. And which is why I've said, like, I think people should get into these trusts because they're going to perform wonderfully, and I think it's the last time that we're going to have these trusts in place. I fully expect the LTCN and BCHG will be ETFs next cycle, which will still be good investments, but they won't have the premium play that we have in the trust right now. So that's the downside for them to become an ETF. But there are also pluses for them to become an ETF as well. Higher liquidity, and probably more institutional interest in Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash, which would drive the prices higher. So it'll be offset a little bit, but still, I think we get maximum gains right now this cycle in the trust with the premium play that we have going on. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. If you want $1 million after taxes, I think you reasonably need to have about $50,000 right now invested. And like I said, like if you invested, like maybe you have $50,000 right now because you invested $5,000 or $10,000 months ago, right? The earlier that you get in, the less you have to put down to achieve the same result, or to achieve a greater result. So it's like that's why next cycle, you guys definitely, if you weren't invested in the bear market, you definitely need to get in the bear market. I'm like, you know what? I am 95% crypto. I'm more than 95% crypto in my portfolio. It's like either native crypto or Grayscale Trust. Like I'm like 95% plus crypto right now with my investable assets. So I believe in crypto. I believe in Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin and the Grayscale Trust. I think they're going to do really well. I think they're going to make a lot of millionaires this cycle and a lot of multimillionaires this cycle. So it's going to be all good. And we're all going to be happy. We can all celebrate in Florida or New Mexico or the Caribbean or wherever that we want, the place of our choosing. So it's going to be a good time, and it's going to be well worth the wait. I know it's been a long wait for everybody who's been invested, and we've seen nice price action, especially in the last month or two with regards to these trusts. But time is going to pay off. And we're going to be just rolling in money. And like I said in yesterday's video, like you're gonna probably want to hold it a little close to your chest, like how much you've made, because like people can come out of the woodwork, and it's like they'll treat you differently based on the money that you've made and how wealthy they think you are and all that kind of stuff. So definitely be prepared for that. All right, I'm gonna leave this here for you guys. Hope you guys are doing well, and that's kind of my thoughts on the price points for LTCN and BCHG, what you need to have invested in each fund to become a millionaire after taxes. Just my thoughts, again, not financial advice. If you are interested in Grayscale and you haven't joined Discord, click the link below in the pinned comment to get there and join the conversation. I'll see you guys around soon. Take care.